specialized AI agents can actually collaborate, negotiate, and work together as a team to solve incredibly complex problems. This isn't just about making one AI smarter, it's about making them work together. And this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. It's happening right now. In fact, companies that are diving headfirst into this, using collaborative AI in their supply chains, are seeing revenue growth that is a whopping 61% higher than their competitors. That's what happens when you go from a single player to a whole team. So, here's our game plan for the day. We're going to start by defining this new digital workforce. Then we'll explore the two main ways they can work together. We'll see it all in action in the autonomous supply chain. I'll give you a practical playbook to get started, and then we'll wrap up by looking ahead at the future of this amazing collaboration. Okay, so first things first. To really understand how these agents can team up, we need to get down to basics. We need to look at the core building block of this whole digital workforce. And that core concept is called a multi-agent system, or MAS for short. Now, I want you to think of it less like a single, all-knowing superbrain and more like a company. It's a network of specialized autonomous agents, each with its own job, all operating in the same digital space, coordinating to tackle problems that are just way too big for any single agent to handle alone. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. A MAS has a few key parts. First, you've got the agents themselves. So imagine a demand forecasting agent, a logistics agent, a procurement agent, you get the idea. They all operate in a shared environment, like a virtual copy of a supply chain. But the real magic is in their interactions. This isn't just random chatter. It's structured communication using specific rules so that everyone speaks the same language. And finally, you have the organization. That's the rule book, the command structure that dictates how they all play together. And that brings us to maybe the most critical decision you have to make when you're building one of these things. How do you get them to work together effectively? Turns out there are two very different ways to think about it. And it all comes down to this fantastic analogy. Are you trying to build an orchestra or a jazz band? See, an orchestra has a conductor. It follows a precise, pre-written score. Everything is predictable, controlled. A jazz band, on the other hand, they improvise. The musicians listen and respond to each other in real time. This choice is huge because it fundamentally shapes what your system can and can't do. So here's the breakdown. In a centralized model, you have a manager agent. That's your conductor. It tells all the other agents what to do. This is great for predictability and for auditing, which is super important in regulated industries. But in a decentralized model, there's no single boss. Agents talk to each other, peer-to-peer, making decisions based on local rules and what's happening around them, just like a jazz band. And this creates a system that is incredibly resilient and can adapt to surprises. So, as you can see, there are real trade-offs here. The centralized model gives you a ton of control, but it's rigid. It also has a single point of failure. If the conductor gets sick, the whole orchestra stops playing. A decentralized system is the opposite. It's super adaptable and fault-tolerant. If one musician drops out, the band just keeps on playing. So the right choice really depends on the problem you're trying to solve. Of course, in the real world, things are rarely so black and white. Most businesses actually find the sweet spot with a hybrid model. It's like having a composer who sets the overall theme and key. That's your centralized governance. But then you let the jazz band improvise within that structure. You get the control you need with the flexibility and creativity you want. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's talk about where this is delivering absolutely mind-blowing results in the real world, the supply chain. I mean, think about it. It's one of the most complex, dynamic, data-rich environments you can imagine, which makes it the perfect place for collaborative AI to shine. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. The companies that are getting in early on this are seeing, on average, a 15% drop in logistics costs, a 35% reduction in how much inventory they have to hold, and a 65% improvement in service levels. These aren't small tweaks. This is a total game changer for how a business operates. And these aren't just abstract numbers. Look at what some of the biggest companies in the world are doing. Maersk uses agents to predict when their ships need maintenance, saving them over $300 million a year. Unilever's agents got their demand forecasting accuracy up to 92%, and General Motors, their agents scan the globe for potential problems and find alternative parts before a crisis can shut down a factory. So how is all this even possible? A huge piece of the puzzle is a technology called the digital twin. This isn't just some static 3D model. It's a living, breathing, virtual replica of a physical thing, a process, or even an entire supply chain. It's constantly getting fed real-time data, giving the AI a perfect mirror of the real world to work with. And this is a total game changer. Why? Because the digital twin basically becomes the playground for these AI agents. They can use it to run simulations. What if a hurricane closes a port? What if a key supplier goes down? All without any risk in the real world. It's a safe sandbox where they can test out different strategies, learn, and find the best way to do things before making a decision. Now, this all sounds incredibly powerful, I know, but you're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually get started? Well, the good news is there's a clear 4-step playbook for bringing a digital workforce into your own organization. Step 1, you have to look at your data readiness. These agents need good data to work with. Step 2, you've got to pick the right platforms that can talk to your existing systems. Step 3, and this is key, launch a focused pilot. Don't try to solve everything at once. Pick one high-impact problem and prove the value. Then finally, once you have a win, you monitor it, you scale it, and you put clear guardrails in place to stay in control. And just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. The #1 project killer is bad data. Garbage in, garbage out. Another big mistake is trying to automate everything way too fast. You have to start small, prove the value, and then scale up. And please, don't forget the human element. This tech is only as good as the team that uses it. And that brings me to maybe the most critical point of all when it comes to implementation. This is not about replacing human planners. It's about supercharging them. The human-in-the-loop model is absolutely essential. Let the AI agents do the heavy lifting, the routine stuff, the number crunching. This frees up your human experts to focus on what they do best: high-level strategy, managing tricky exceptions, and creative problem solving. So what does this all mean for the future? Well, what we're witnessing is a pretty profound paradigm shift. We're moving away from building static AI models that just give advice, and we're moving toward creating dynamic, active ecosystems of collaborating agents. Here's the one thing I want you to take away from all this. The next big leap in AI's value isn't going to come from a slightly more accurate algorithm. It's going to come from AI's ability to work as a team. The real power gets unlocked not in the individual agent, but in the collaboration that happens between them. And that leaves us with a final big picture question. As you think about bringing AI into your world, what are you trying to build? Are you building a rigid control machine that's really efficient today, but might break tomorrow? Or are you building a decentralized, adaptive ecosystem that's resilient, creative, and can actually evolve with your business? The answer to that question is going to define your competitive advantage for years to come.